It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Burn out, burn out, burn out, burn out, burn out. Right? So I was setting this up and having a really good time and singing and hanging out with spirit. And they're like, some people actually like that. They like the kind of like the mindless meditation aspect of it. And I was like, well, then who am I to not include you guys in my little fun setup? So I'm just going to talk about the reading today and what is going to come through. I am channeling energies from spirit right now, and that song literally started like playing. Like I could hear spirit being like, bam, bam, bam. It was so awesome. And you can work with the rooster if you want to, but it's not necessary. But if you're drawn to it, please do. But this is a rooster feather from a dear friend of mine, and it literally fell out of this cabinet when I was pulling things out to build the altar today. And I thought it was so fitting because the new moon in Gemini. Gemini is an air sign. When we think of air, we think of feathers, right? We think of birds in flight. So I feel like that was meant for somebody. So I have to tell you about this really cool thing that happened while I'm setting this up. And then, of course, there'll be timestamps below, or timestamps in the description box. If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you're coming back, welcome back. As you know, all of my information is in the description box. If you would like to contribute to any of the work on this channel, there are all forms and methods there to do so. Prayer is free, and it's good karma for all of us. Spirit is showing us how to rebuild our karma with ourselves and each other so that our dharma can remain strong and secure. They also wanted me to say while I'm setting this up that it's okay to play human. We got all these new toys from one of our tribe members, Zoe. It's okay to play human, but they want us to remember, look at the scrying on this. Do you guys see that face? On both sides, by the way. Look at there. I kind of see like different face, and then this way. You know, people who send me things, most of the time they use their pendulum or their intuition, and they're like, I don't know why I meant to send you that or give you that, and then I'm not sure either, and then it shows up and I'm like, oh, cool. So yeah, so they're just having me talk while I set this up because this reading is very, very powerful. They always are, of course, right? But sometimes it's like Tetris. It's like I can tell like what pieces want to go where. Like even when I don't know, I know. It's kind of cool. This new moon in Gemini is something so different. It's so different because of the alignment of the planets. There's a lot of really cool things that are happening today. The things that stuck out to me because of my connection to it is that, Mercury is Gemini's ruling planet. And the sun is in Mercury today with the new moon. And there's just like all these like planetary things, and then Jupiter and Sagittarius is the polar opposite of Gemini. And it's really interesting because I really thought that my partner and I were going to we were going to go on an adventure today, and I wasn't really feeling it, and then I could tell they weren't feeling it, and so we're just like, let's just abort the mission. And the truth was, I really did feel drawn to work with spirit today. Yesterday was Sacred Sunday. I'll put a link in the description box if you would like to participate. It's free. It's live every Sunday here at noon Pacific Standard Time, and it's different every week. It's really fun. And yesterday was episode 3, and we worked with the dragon medicine. Really profound. A lot of stuff came through. Some channeling came through too for one of our tribe members. And it's always fun that when you're getting a download that doesn't make sense to you, that someone comes in and says, holy crap, that's me, blah, blah, blah. That's what happened, blah, blah. I'm like, well, there you go. They're here to say hello, wink, wink. So a lot of really powerful energies are trying to talk to us now from the outer realms. And I heard they're like, get back to your task. I'm like, okay. So I feel like this doesn't have to necessarily be seen. In fact, I'm going to put this over here. But I feel like it wants to go where it wants to go, and wherever it goes is where it's meant to be. Also, I just realized I have to be mindful because I'm going to be setting the cards up right there. So I need some room for that. I like the way that that's kind of glowing in there like a little torch. It's so cute. That is a handmade candle that I found at a thrift store. It's like broken and fucked up and like whatever, but I don't care. I love it. I love it. It's like one of my favorite candle holders I've ever had. And it's kind of interesting because I was talking about how Zoe gifted us a bunch of stuff. This was one of the things that she gifted us. And I say us because I use things for the tribe. And Zoe and I, we know like when it's time to pass things on, we pass things on. But this has like all these very fragile pieces that if you pick it up the wrong way, you can really hurt yourself. So it's cool though, because it makes me be very focused. And I also feel like that it was meant to break into 2 pieces because I feel like we're going to do a lot of scrying with it. So I don't know like how that's going to come out. So stay tuned. Thank you for the donations, you guys, and the contributions. Thank you for the prayers. Oh my gosh, I feel them. I feel everything. I feel it all. And I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. Thank you so much. The channel is growing. Things are getting really exciting. I was getting some downloads from Spirit about how some things are going to change on this channel and on Lula's Labyrinth. So I'm really excited about that too. If you don't know about my other channel, yay, Moonstone. If you don't know about my other channel, there will be a link in the description box as well. It's really fun. It's kind of where I get my freak on. It's where I, literally I just put inspiration artists, and then Spirit had me put something else. I forget what. I'd heard it somewhere. And I was like, I heard, put that on your channel. I'm like, all right. So I did. And so that's been like really cool too. There's just been like all these really neat, awesome things that are happening, that will be happening. I feel like they want me to make a wall or something over here. I think the other one that I put away, you can actually build it. If you build it, they will come. I don't know, but it wants to be there. Wow, 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 wow. That's so powerful. That's so powerful. Oh, you know what? Because it's on the tray. This was my grandmother's perfume tray from the 30s. Or maybe it's the 50s. I don't know anymore. But sorry, I'm a bit rambly because there's so many energies that are here with us right now. So for right now, just so you know, we're going to be reading from the Moonology. Ooh, you know what? This might be... I feel like they just want to have the light part of the feather there. Okay, they said keep building. You're doing good. I'm like, okay. I feel like they want me to do this as like a shot for something. Lately, when they tell me stuff, I'm like, all right. Ah! Oh my gosh, what just happened? Oh my goddess. Okay, you guys. So I don't want to be freaky deaky about this, but like literally this has been up there for so long, and I clean it and like whatever every so often, but like since we moved in, this is what just fell. So I am going to put it right there because oh my gosh, come on. I was like hanging on my wall and that just like literally fell. Like there's no reason. Nothing's happening. I feel like the poltergeist girl. She's like, what's happening? Wow. Okay. But this is when I love, some people like the altar building. And you know what's interesting? I really do too. I mean, there are some readers that I love watching it. And I think it's like a kind of form of visual ASMR, just like kind of checking things out. Okay. This is really cool. I feel like, oh my gosh, what is happening? It's so fun. It's so fun. Oh gosh, what were we saying? Oh yeah, I want to take a screenshot, but is that it? No, I feel like we want more. So this new moon, the reason why they're having it really generic is that everybody's in their own thing. This is one of those readings that sometimes, I don't know if it's going to happen, but it's the energy that I felt. I felt like it's going to be one of those readings where there's like readings within a reading. If you guys know, you know. You know what I mean? Where it's like, it's literally like a reading within a reading. Let the chips fall where they may. And that's cool when that happens, because our tribe is so varied and vast, and there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff going on. This chevron amethyst wants to come back in right there, right in front of the other amethyst. Look at that. What's up with that? And the Lemurian wants to come in. And the Stillbite wants to come in. The Stillbite's like, don't forget about me. I feel like that scene from Anchorman. Why am I like getting all these Anchorman references lately? But if you guys have seen Anchorman, do you remember this scene where like all the news stations are fighting each other and it's like so ridiculous? But ooh, okay. But they're like, don't forget about us, channel whatever, you know. I don't know, sorry. You know what, I wasn't feeling like this, and I was more stoned earlier, and now I feel stoned, if that makes any sense. Okay, nice. The lapis lazuli wants to come in right there. Oh, I love it. Okay, I feel like, do I want to move the back? The thing is, let's see. Do I want to move the back thing back there? Okay. So drink some water. 11/29. Ooh, November 29th. Is that someone's birthday? I'm not getting a pull to smudge, but I am getting a pull to ring the bell. So I'm going to take a picture real quick. And I'm going to try a few different shots there. I might go down a bit. That's kind of nice. It's dark and moody. Okay. Oh, I'm like, do I want to use a flash? Okay, hold on, you guys. Okay, but I don't want to use a flash for the rest of it. Okay. So I'm going to, now that we took the picture, I'm going to get serious. And my playful side really wants to come out. You know what it is? We've got some fairies here. I mean, duh, like, you know what I mean? You know, sometimes where it's like, you can't help but be like silly and be like, but seriously, of course it was the fairies. The fairies are being, the fairies are being playful. And I did like call in, I called, you know, I'll just do it again so you can hear it, because some people really like the vibe. And also I feel like I want to go back to that. I like the way that flame was like coming through there like a little torch. So let's close our eyes, take in some deep breaths. Recently, keep breathing, keep your eyes closed. I'm going to ring the bell while I'm talking. Recently, Carrie Kao put a link to her channel. She's quite interesting and fun. I may not agree with everything they do or say, but I do like a lot of their stuff. So, you know, all of us light workers are here for a different reason and a different purpose. And I do love and appreciate them on a very deep level. But we all see things differently, and that's okay. But they were talking recently about the breath work, and about how breath work is basically, what I got from it is that breath work is simple. Like, don't make too much of it. Like, you know, I'm paraphrasing like my interpretation of it. And if I can find the actual video, I'll put it in the description box. Again, always look in the description box if you're new here. 1349 and then 1350 for angel numbers, in case you don't remember and you don't want to go back, you know, things like that. And if they don't come up, then it's like it's not your medicine. But long story short, this video came into my orbit and I loved what she said. She said, breathing in a deep breath and bringing in that white light healing energy, and then breathing out with like kind of like not a force, but like a release force is really important, because she said, you know, we have to remember that our breath is energy, and we take for granted that we're just breathing every second, but it's actually energy. That's how we can move our avatars around, because of the life force of breath. So we'll do a few breaths, but it kind of, again, it might be where people are like, yes, and your point is, but for me, I feel like, yes, but I've studied and worked with, breath work and stuff. And of course I love the dragon breath one is like my favorite because I'm my dragon. But I will say that sometimes, something hits you a certain way, and she just said it, and I was like, girl, I know what you mean, and it was just really intense. So here we go. Breathe in white light, healing energy, whatever you want to say to yourself, however you breathe, and then this is what I say, like my inner dialogue is like, breathe in through the nose, mouth shut. I'm breathing in white light healing energy. I'm breathing in as much as I can, and then I'm going back into the ether, back into love, right? So it's like we're bringing in the white light healing energy, and we're letting go of all that which no longer serves our greatest and highest good, however you want to say it, and I just say, like I release that energy back into the ether, back into love, whatever it is. So again, it's all personal. So, when I opened my eyes, it was 16 minutes. I call upon your higher self and my higher self. I call upon our spirit guides and the animal guides. I call upon all those who wish to be here today. I call upon the healing energies of the universe. And particularly, I call upon the heat energy of Reiki, of the sun of energy, into my life force. I call upon our spirit guides and our animal guides and our ancestors, the gods and goddesses, our benevolent creator, the nine, our star sisters and brothers in arms, the angels and archangels, and all those who wish to be here in light and love and learning, for shadow, for protection, for warmth and comfort, for guidance, for solace, for embodiment of spirit, of Christ consciousness, of love. We call these energies in for the new moon in Gemini. Thank you, Gemini, the great communicator. Thank you, Gemini energy. Thank you, Luna. Thank you, Lilith. As above, so below, we call upon the north, the south, the east, the west, and all the energies and entities that are aligned with them. With grace and gratitude, we accept and honor your presence and guidance and teachings today. May we all be blessed with this healing energy. Spirit says all you have to say is, I accept this healing energy today. And so it is. Thank you, Spirit. They said to stop overcomplicating things. This is a message for all of us. And they said, stop playing human. It's fun, but you need to look at it like it's a play that you've been in for a really long time. And right, just like any other character, if you've ever been an actor, or if you've ever worked, right, or you've worn masks, Spirit's saying if you've worn a mask with your family, your friends, your boss, you're acting. You may not be good at it, right? You may be really good at it. But either way, Spirit's saying release that control. I'm getting this energy to open up, stretch, do yoga, meditation, connect with your higher self. Northern hemisphere, summer is almost here. Southern hemisphere, winter's almost here. So we're going to release and let go in these spring and fall energies. We're going to release and let go of that which no longer serves the greatest and highest good of the collective and ourselves, as we branch out into the new life in the new energy of the new moon. Because it's a new dawn, it's a new day, and it's a new life for all of us very soon. You must believe, you must believe. Clap like Tinkerbell. Believe, 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 believe. And that is all. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for that communication and that channeling. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, so we're going to go and we're going to shuffle the cards. And then, oh, that's pretty too. We're going to shuffle the cards and we're going to choose the cards for each reading. I don't know what they're going to be either. So let's see. Spirit, reading 1. We're connecting with the energy of reading 1. We're not quite opening the portal yet, but we're connecting with the reading 1 energy. So we know, what is their star card, Spirit? What is their star card for the messages today, for the blanket messages for that reading? What is their star message today, Spirit? Thank you. Okay. Oh, maybe that's why they wanted me to do that. Okay. Because I can't. Okay. I get it. Okay. So that's reading 1. I may have to push this back a bit. And that's okay. That's all right. Beautiful. Beautiful. This is how it wants to be. So this is how it will be. Nice. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. So reading 1. Reading 1. Reading 1. Now, Spirit, same for reading 2. Same questions, same energy, experience. What is their star card for reading 2? It's really in there. Let me just make sure. It's really in there. It's like reading 2 is, I feel this apprehension from reading 2, like they're kind of hiding, like they don't want to, because this reading is, you know, there were so many topics that were coming through. That's why I was saying, I'm like, I have a feeling this is going to be one of those, like, what you need to hear right now, because you can't just do a blanket statement on this new moon, because we all have different dreams. We all have different manifestations. We all have different, you know, hopes. And recently that's been coming into my orbit a lot, that hope is a beautiful, wonderful thing, but also, okay, these two are stuck together and they told me not to touch it, so I'm going to leave it. So there's a few there. It doesn't mean that we won't use more. It's just that that's the way it's going, so I'm not going to fight it. But, you know, they're like, hope is awesome. It's good to hold on to hope and that longing, right? Like we need that for survival. It's like part of our ego that helps us to keep going. But at the same time, they're like, it's, you know, time to make that hope a reality. And so we're going to be talking about that, is what they're saying. Okay, so great. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for that insight. So reading 3, what messages do we have for reading 3 for New Moon in Gemini? What is their star card? What is their main card, Spirit? There we go. Okay. And let's see, do we have a reading 4, Spirit? Do we have a reading 4? Do we have a reading 4? Okay. Do we have a bonus reading at all? Any type of bonus? Okay. So there you go. We have 3 piles. We have 3 piles. And I feel like this wants to go here. Nice, nice, beautiful, 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 beautiful. I'm going to play with this a little bit more because I want to get a screenshot so that people can see it when they want to choose. That's why the selenite wanted to go there, so that we could give everybody their space. We're going to back this up just a little bit and move this up just a little bit. I feel like this wants to like somehow be here. Oops, hope I didn't show the card. I didn't want to cheat anybody out of the experience. Okay. I feel like this is like trying to help it, but I'm not helping. There we go. I'm like, but I'm not helping. I'm not the helper at this point. Okay. So let's see. And this, same thing. It's like, this is the kind of stuff I do when you guys don't watch. Right? Like you're not watching that. This one wants to go this way, I feel like. Because it could be the visual. It could be the moons on the outside. You know what I mean? Ah, maybe it wants to do that. See, this is why I work with the energy that they tell me to. And it's like, you know, sometimes people are like, how long does it take you to put a reading together? I'm like, it depends. They're like, on what? I'm like, on a lot of things. I'm like, sometimes it's really easy. Sometimes it comes together in like 5 minutes and I'm like, cool. And sometimes it's like this where it's like, a battle, but it's not really a battle. It just means that I'm not getting it. Like there's something that I'm not getting that I need to do. So it could be anything like this, where it just needs a little help or leverage. Oops, that fell. So maybe that's not it. I actually kind of feel like this wants to go this way. Oh yeah, it kind of aligns better that way. We'll see if it works. Look at that. See what I mean? You just gotta play with it a little bit. They're like, don't move it. I'm like, okay. All right, so let me just, I just want to confirm with Spirit because, again, this is your reading and, you know, sometimes it's my reading too, but I'm saying like, this is for, you know, everybody, and I don't know what's going to attract somebody to something. Sometimes I do stuff like that too, where I just kind of, I feel like they're like, you know, kind of mix it up because the visual is very important to some people. See, look at that. It just goes where it wants to go. I just let it. I'll just let it. I'll say, okay, you do you. You do you, boo. Okay. Do I want to turn the moon, the cards in the other direction in any reading, in any 1, 2, or 3? Do you want to leave everything exactly as it is? Okay, you guys, that's it. That's exactly how they want it to be. And I'm going to put that back because they really like that. They said I could straighten them a little better. Okay. I did kind of feel like this one wanted to almost overlap that one. It's my perfectionism that wants to like go back, but it's like also this is where I have to release and let go because it's not about me. What about me? It isn't fair. Okay, do you guys know that song? If you do, please comment below because that song has been in my, because you just take more than you give. That song has been playing on repeat for free in my fucking head for days. I keep saying, I'm like, do you want me to make a short out of it or something? Like, I've been making a lot of shorts and videos and doing stuff lately. And I'm like, do you want me to do that? They're like, nope. I'm like, okay, so it must be for somebody in this reading and in this tribe and in this group right now. I feel like they want me to take the feather out. Okay. Because, it just started playing again in my head. What is this thing? Living rent free. It's been living rent free in my head for a little too long. Where I'm just like, dude, seriously, you know? I'm like, what the fucking fuck? Like, what the fuck? There we go. There we go. That feels better. This feels a little sloppy. I wanna live. Right? Something like that. I've had enough, now I want my share, can't you see? Oh gosh, who's that artist? Because you just take more, you just take more than you give. I don't even know who sings it. Like, the voice sounds familiar, but I couldn't, if someone was like, you know, who's the artist, I'd be like, I don't know. That's the thing, that's what's driving me cuckoo, because I don't know. Ooh, maybe the moonstone wants to be in the middle. There's this little, there's one of my spirit guides, when I'm having a hard time and I'm not understanding what they're trying to say to me, they'll literally go, by Jove, I think she's got it. It's like this cute little thing of like them telling me like, okay, you're good, you know. I definitely knew I wanted to move that around a little bit more. There's a lot of amethyst going on. We got 2 chevron amethyst and a small amethyst. Okay. That was so fun, Spirit. I love when we get to do fun stuff like this. Is where, like earlier, I was like, I love my job. Like, I have the best job ever. Is it on this side? Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's playing over and over again. You know, I always tell people that part from Ghost where he keeps singing Henry VIII over and over until she does his bidding. That really fucking happens. It happens to me all the time. And I don't know if it happens to me because it happened in that movie. And so they're like giving me the reference of it to like help me know. But yeah, too funny. Too funny. That's my perfectionist right there. Okay, they're telling me to leave the cards and don't touch them. There is our cover. Oh, shoot. No, I screwed up again. I'm like that one chick. I did it again. Okay, here we go. Now we're good. Now we're good. Oh, I keep moving it with my finger. Yay! Okay, so we have before you. See, if you just, there'll be a timestamp, right? But the rest of you who hung in there for the first 30 minutes, thanks for hanging out. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you for the good energy. Thank you for everything. I just love you guys so much. Okay, and thank you all for being here. So, without further ado, let's hear what Spirit has to say to us for this blessed new moon in Gemini. It's also, by the way, it's also supermoon. So you know what that means? Super manifestations, superpowers. That means every dream, everything you've ever wanted, I don't care, big or small, it doesn't matter. You put it out into the universe today, and you, from now until the first quarter moon, you put all of your energy into that. Everything you have, anything that you can. And it's okay, because even a fraction of you putting into it is planting the seed and saying to Spirit, I'm here, I'm ready to do the work. I'm ready to do the work. It may take me 5 minutes or 5 years, but I got this. That's the attitude that we're walking into this new moon in Gemini. So with further ado, we have to your left to right, I guess. So we have reading 1, reading 2, and reading 3. And I will see you over at your reading. And as always, I am Tallulah Kelly, the Magical Medium. Thank you so much for being a part of this blessed tribe and this channel. I look forward to seeing you at your reading. And if you'd like to work with me, or if you'd like to donate anything to this channel, go into the description box and all the information is there. I'll see you over at your reading. I love you. Blessed be. Oh, bye. Welcome, reading 1. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so honored to host this reading for you today. Just putting it together, I just felt so much coming from you. And because this is kind of a blanket, like what we need to hear from Spirit for this new moon in Gemini energy, I'm really going to do my best to just let Spirit speak through me and to you. Remember that these are mass readings, and a lot of people are going to watch them. Sometimes, you know, you watch something and you're like, oh my gosh, it's my life, it's my story. And it probably is, right? But there are probably 10 other people who are thinking the same thing. I've done that before. I go to comment and someone's like, that's my life. I'm like, me too. And then you see like 30 other people are like, you know, because you start to realize that our stories may be individual and different, but the energies on the planet are the same. So I feel like this new moon in Gemini is here to teach us something really powerful about our innate gifts. And that if you have found yourself here today, you are a light worker, an earth angel. Welcome to New Earth. Welcome to your world, the world that's always been here, that was free will run amok. And now we are setting things straight. And it's going to be a little bumpy for a while. But this reading, I feel today, these are messages from Spirit that need to be heard. You know, good, bad, or indifferent, as they say. There is no such thing as good or bad. It's just whatever. You know, someone can tell you something when you're in a really good mood and you'll receive the energy completely differently, and they can tell you the exact same thing when you're in a super shitty mood, and it will set you off and like ruin a relationship and burn a bridge. You know what I mean? So they're asking us to be very mindful of our words and our thoughts with ourselves first and foremost, and with everyone around us. I love that we are all here as teachers for each other. And I felt coming into your reading so many different energies that I could keep talking and keep going, but I really feel like I just want to jump in and see what your card is, because I don't know either. If you found yourself here just checking, you know, clicking on the timestamp for the reading, that's fine. But if you want to see how this reading came together and came to be, you can watch it from the beginning. We also did a nice little healing from Spirit that was lovely. I don't know if they'll have me put in timestamps for everything, but anyway, so I chose, it was one of those videos where I pulled the cards while I was on camera, which is always really fun. So anyway, but we don't know what they are. None of us do. So let's see what your message is. Reading 1. Okay. Be bold and make the first move. Okay. Because this is just a really bold but yet generic statement, let's go into the book and see what other messages that Spirit has for us, because it's under the cardinal moon. So let's go in and see. I'll be right back. Your angel number is 3454. They actually had me pause it. I thought it was just to save time, but it was very specific. It could be ages as well. It could be numbers if you add them together. You know what I mean? There's a lot of numerology going on there, so I'll let you look that up on your own. Also, it's on page 104 and 105. So if those numbers mean anything to you, if you took out the 0, it'd be 14 and 15. Okay. So be bold and make the first move. Now is the time to be bold, bossy even. Take matters into your own hands. Cardinal signs are powerful and self-starting. They're determined and great at organizing. Drawing this card strongly suggests that you're going to need to be all those things to get your ideal resolution or position in the situation you're asking about. This card may challenge you on how strongly you really want something. If you're worrying about a situation, it is a suggestion, tongue twister, to be less passive. Instead, take an assertive stance as you steer events where you want them to go. Speak up for what you want. If you're serious about sorting things out, you may need to take the lead in some way to step up as a leader. I apologize for the traffic. It's in real time. It's Memorial Day. And I live like in paradise. It's beautiful. But on one side of me is the freeway. And today, since early this morning until now, it's like, I don't know, I think mid-afternoon now. It has been unbelievable, where I'm like, oh my gosh, like unsettling. So maybe you're in a situation too, like maybe I meant to share that with you, because maybe part of your new moon request or dream or manifestation, whatever it is to you, whatever languaging you use, is to move to a new place. And maybe that's your focus. Also, they're saying, do you notice how the flame is flickering between the red and the yellow and the red and the yellow? They're kind of like showing me that, I just got the chills, as like, that's you straddling the 3rd dimensional world and the 5th dimensional world, and they want you to stop it. Just because the 3rd dimensional world is present doesn't mean that you have to fully efface and put yourself in it. You can be of it, but not in it. In it, but not of it. And every time I hear both of those ways being said, I feel like you can look at it either way. So I'll let you decide. But you know what I'm saying, right? It's getting more and more and more. I've been getting that too, where people who are not in the same energy I am, spirit will put you where you're meant to be and where you're meant to go. It's one of those things where, how like, you need to slow down. Your body's telling you to slow down. Everything's telling you to slow down. You don't slow down. And then you hurt yourself. And you have to slow down, because now you can't walk for like a week. So, when those things happen, it's not happening to you. It's happening for you, because your higher self and your energy is like, slow the fuck down. Even with this, I felt like I was like tongue-tied and going over my words, because I felt this like, I gotta go to the bathroom, I gotta do this, and I'm like, man, it's like really like stressing me out. So I'm listening to you and I'm feeling you, and I'm saying back to you, mirroring back to you, let the moon be your guide. Let the moon be your guide. Work with the moon energy. When you don't fight the moon energy, then everything goes in the flow, and when I say that, it's because like right now, technically, in real time, the new moon hasn't fully like hit yet. We're a few hours from it, but we're still hours from it. So technically, we're still at the end of the sliver end of the Taurus moon, and we're going into the new moon in Gemini. Technically, it's going to be full blown tomorrow on Tuesday. But I had this feeling they wanted me to do this today so that I could post these tonight, so that all of the people that need these messages, you know, far and wide. And feel free to share these readings, you know, on your social media with your friends and people you know that are spiritually, you know, enlightened and are working really hard, especially to the fellow light workers and people like that. There's power in numbers. And right now I feel like we all need little messages and little things here and there. I don't survive on readings, but I absolutely use them as guides. Like, to me, it's like, what's the difference if I went to therapy? You know, spirit directs me in the right ones. I use my pendulum. I don't let shiny, pretty things, you know, go, ooh, that's my reading, just because, you know, oh, I've been seeing stars everywhere and that, you know, there's a star there. It's like, sometimes yes, but not always. Sometimes there's a star there for somebody else. And that's the discernment. That's the intuition that they've been like pushing so hard. They, meaning our higher selves, you know, the universe, our creator, all of our guides and assistants and people, you know, that are taking care of us, watching over us. Earth is a beautiful training ground. It's a school for the soul. We get to live in these fun little avatars, but there's like millions of other stories going on around us all the time. We're just programmed not to see it, feel it, know it, understand it. We call them things like ghosts and extraterrestrials and all these things, but the truth is, it's always us. And it's so hard to explain that, you know, really. Sometimes people will ask me really in-depth questions, especially when I meet them right off the cuff, and it's such a great question. Recently that happened to me and I was like, dude, I don't even know where to start right now. I'm like, but I'll give you a link to my channel, and if you want to go check it out. I'm like, because I go, all I can tell you is to ask me something like that. I'm like, you obviously are a light worker. You're here to help humanity. You're here to, you know, I'm like, but put your third dimensional, like, personal shit aside and stop making your political and religious choices over personal gain and personal, you know, hurts and pain and suffering. You know, that's really what's just been happening. We've just been like bouncing around like fucking pinballs in a machine right now, you know, going from one thing to the next thing, and it's happening everywhere. And it's been going on for a really, really long time. And when the age of Aquarius first came in at the, you know, end of the 60s, it was such a revolution that hadn't been seen in a really long time. You know, probably since the Civil War. And it was just another outcry of the people saying, look, at 100 years later, and we're still, you know, and a lot of the zealots, as they call them, or I think I'm saying that correctly, but, you know, and these very like dictatorship and whatever, it's like, to them, they're like, what do you mean? Look at how far we came in 100 years, where we're like, no, it was like slavery was supposed to end. It still happened. It just happened underground. It just happened in other countries. It just happened. The more we can travel, you know, all the things that we get to do, all the things that we're blessed to have and to have fun with, there's always a negative to it. So if we are so blessed to be able to travel in a tin can through the air from one continent to another, we're going, you know, on a trip and we're like, yay, you're going to see friends and family, going to have a really good time. Well, at the same time, there are also people who are being transported against their will and being raped and killed on the same type of vessel. There is always going to be that balance on earth, but it doesn't have to be to the extreme that it is, which it has gone to, the dark side. You know, just like the dark web. They talk about the dark web. I don't even want to go to the dark web. I don't even, when people are like, oh yeah, you can get on the dark web, I'm like, why does a dark web exist? How is no plug being pulled for a dark web? How are children being trafficked? How are people, humans, like, you know, but of course, you know, horrifically, the children are the innocents, right? Like, they were stolen. They weren't protected. Someone looked the wrong way. Things happen. Shit happens. A mother can sneeze and turn her back for 1 second. You got the right people at the right time. These people are professionals. They know exactly what they're doing. I mean, they can steal a child literally in seconds, and you'd be like, what the fuck? I just sneezed. I had my back turned for like 3 seconds when I turned around to sneeze, right? There is a dark force that is happening, but there's also a light force that is happening. I've been seeing videos where people are like, oh my gosh, you know, I saw alien, and I'm telling you, with my spidey sense of my bullshit, my human bullshit barometer, my angel knows they're telling the truth. And I'm like, well, I'm sure they did, because their eyes are letting them see. Have you ever heard that song, you know, from David Bowie, where he talks about, you know, the man in the sky would like to show him, he'd like to tell us why, but, you know, he's afraid that, you know, they'd blow our minds if they showed us what they look like, right? And that's how it is. It's like we can only handle so much at a time. So for a long time, this has been building up. And for a long time, they've been showing us themselves through movies, TV shows, comic books, costumes, cosplay, things that are just supposed to be fun and playful. But people take certain things very seriously, and they're taking it very seriously because they're part of the regiment. Like, they're part of the fucking alliance, you know, like people who are so into, you know, they're like, oh, you're either Star Wars or Star Trek. I'm like, it's all the same. But I love that, you know, in the original Star Wars that we knew of in 1977, I believe was the first one, either 75 or 77. I just remember I was very little when it came out. But I was blessed to see those movies for the first time in the theater. I knew what it was like to, you know, think that looked so real. And now I see, you know, AI, and I'm like, wow, wow, wow. Can you imagine if it was made back then? Like, I mean, I love the fact that dude was like 7'4" and stood in a fucking Wookiee costume. And as far as we were concerned, that was Chewbacca. You know what I mean? And Chewbacca exists. I was in love with Chewbacca and all of his family when they did that Christmas special. I'll see if I can find it. Oh my gosh, it's so good. If you can't, look for it on YouTube. But it was the Chewbacca family Christmas special, and they like show you Chewbacca's family, and like, because Star Wars was such a thing, and they're always going to find a way, right, to like get you to buy something to sensationalize something, but it's not always on a negative. What I'm getting for you guys, the reason why you got be bold and make the first move, is that you are holding back because of fear. And the fear that you're feeling is very real because you experienced something either in this life or a past life or all of the above. You may even be so much of as a seer, a future seer, and you see something in the future, and so you're afraid to make a move. But listen, we have to make mistakes, and we have to fuck up, and we have to have bad things happen so that we can cherish the good things and also learn lessons. That's how our souls expand and grow. Sometimes when I'm here, I feel like Wes Bentley from American Beauty, you know, videotaping a plastic bag flying through the air. I feel that about Earth and all of its beauty and awesomeness and humanity. And then other times I'm like, get me off this fucking rolling rock of craziness. I do not belong here. This is like, I'm such a loving being, you know, but we were brought here to be those loving beings. Let your freak flag fly. If you want to start a channel, if you want to start, you know, I saw something recently where they said there was 111 million YouTube channels or something. I don't think there was billions, but it was a high number like that. And they're like, so imagine if you're trying to be seen by people, it's like, we do have to share things. We do. And thank you for the shares, by the way. I know so many of you guys, I see them all the time. Every month I get like a thing of like, and I'll be like, wow, like 26 shares. They don't tell me who shares what. Like, I feel like that's private, you know, people don't have to tell me stuff, but I do see that things are shared, and that gets me really excited because I'm like, okay, cool. This affected somebody so much that they moved this on, and they must know that it's, you know, because that's why they found my channel. Maybe they don't even know they're a light worker. Maybe they don't even know that, you know, they're here to push the shadow energy, narcissist, empath relationship, light angel, you know, whatever. Like, there are certain people, Sasha Bonison, like, I'm so drawn to, I'll put a link to his channel if they draw me to. If not, seek him out. Great channel. I love Sasha. Like, I love his readings, but his energy is just a bit too intense for me. And that's a lot coming from me because I'm really intense too. And not intense bad, like meaning like he's like my mirror, where it's like sometimes I love it, I'm like, yeah, Sasha, go. And sometimes like, yo, brother, I can't. I'm like, I can't match that right now. Because a lot of times when I watch readings, I'm in a very mellow place. I don't like to watch readings when I'm over sensationalized, because that is usually when we are misled in our guidance from spirit. And spiritual guidance is wonderful and beautiful, and it's here for a reason, but it is not here to guide and dictate our lives. That is our job. It is just here to kind of put us back on the right path, you know, to check in, you know, with our spiritual therapists, in so many words, right? And find out like, okay, I've been trying this. Why isn't this working? You know, then you watch a reading and the reader will say, you know, because you were meant to do this and you were meant to do that. And your book, you know, the world wasn't ready for your book yet, you know, like whatever your story is, right? Insert your story here. But either way, now is the time. Now is the hour. you have the strength and you have the power. You know, we, on Sacred Sunday yesterday on the 3rd, I wanted to smush these together. That's what I was starting to say. I wanted to smush them together because they were so close together. And they were like, no, because they're like Sacred Sunday. And like the moon readings are the moon readings. And they're sometimes they collide and sometimes they don't. And yesterday, I can see why, because yesterday was so intense and really cool. And we only had a few questions come through from the live, like from our tribe members. But at the same time, because of their questions, they were so good and so deep, and so many messages came through, and their angels came through. And so we all learned something, and it was from the dragons. It was working with the dragons, and it was about the power of strength and vulnerability. So if I'm pulled to, I'll put a link in the description box. If not, seek it out. Always check out the playlists. I have old playlists. I have current playlists. But, you know, if you're drawn to them, check them out. And the posts as well. I don't go in the posts as much as I do in other things. Shorts is kind of my big bang, right? Like shorts and these kind of videos, like video format or shorts. But like the posts, if I'm drawn to something, I'll post. But and the playlists are always there. Anyway, so with that being said, they're saying let the moon be your guide, because like right now, yes, technically this is the new moon, but when you go into like how we're ever changing every second, which is why it's important to put down your birth time, because the solar system is ever evolving all the time. The planets are there as teachers. They're there as energy to move around, to teach us stuff. We're not meant to go live on them. We're not meant to live on Mars. We're not meant to colonize to another planet. I don't believe that anyway. If we are, then it's some type of like, maybe some group of humans are meant to do that for, maybe they're meant to go further out into space, into an environment that's like Mars. I don't know. But whenever, let's just put it this way, and I'm not saying this like with ego or to sound like a dick, 5125, by the way, angel number for you. But every time I see stuff like that, I start laughing. And I don't mean to. Like, I realized the other day, I fucking full frontal insulted this elder lady, and I didn't. I'm not laughing because I'm a dick. I'm laughing because like, just like how clueless. Like I wasn't even. I didn't see her car. I didn't see the make of her car. All I saw was a bumper sticker that said, "Send Elon Musk send Elon Musk to Mars." And I thought it was supposed to be funny, like send his ass to Mars, like, you know what I mean? Instead of like, you know, fucking with our planet and fucking with like our resources, like, fuck you, like, you know, send his ass to Mars. That's the way I read it. So this lady's getting out of her car. I don't see what she's wearing. I don't see anything about her. I don't see anything. I'm just laughing really, really hard. And she, because in my mind, I'm like, nobody's going to live on the fucking moon. It's inhabitable. For humans. It's not meant to be lived on. I mean, it's just not meant to be lived on. So, explored maybe, I guess. I don't know, but lived on, colonized, I don't see that. I just don't see that. I don't. And now, again, I may be wrong, but again, it would be like, maybe they're there to explore, so they're going to build a colony to explore, but I don't see it like, yeah, you're going to take like the old ads from like the 50s, you know, where they're like, smoke up, son, you know, blah, 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 have that cigarette and blah, blah, blah. I feel like it's that kind of thing where it's like propaganda and getting you to like, that's what it feels like to me. Anyway, that's why I laugh at it, because it kind of reminds me of like the bullshit. My bullshit barometer just goes really fucking high. So I'm laughing my ass off. And she's like getting out of her car, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, your bumper sticker is so awesome. I'm like, I love it so much. And she's like, oh, and she had a few, but not all I saw was that one. She had like 3, I think, but I couldn't tell you what the other fucking ones were. All I saw was that. And as I'm saying this to her, I'm starting to get into my vehicle, and my partner's in the driver's seat. I'm on the passenger. She's getting out of her car, and I'm like, yeah, like, it's just so funny. Like, it made me laugh so hard. I'm like, send his ass to the moon. Or I think I said something like that. And she goes, oh. And then I realized she's getting out of her car, and she's got like these pins of American flags and everything. And I'm like, and I'm laughing. I get in the car, and my partner looks at me and he goes, she's driving a Tesla. And I go, oh, wait, so she doesn't like him, or I'm like, I'm confused. He's like, no, she probably likes him. I'm like, oh my God. I feel so bad because I'm like, I didn't mean to be that way. I'm still laughing just because it was funny to me. Not funny that she was, felt like shit, but it was just interesting because God knows what she said about me later or whatever. Probably thought I was a cuckoo bird. But anyway, I just think that's what I'm saying. Like our receptors and our perception of everything is our own. So if you're holding back from making the first move on a person, a place, a thing, a dream, an ambition, a manifestation, there is no time. You must be bold, because sometimes people aren't going to get you. And sometimes they're not going to understand, and that's okay. And sometimes you're going to make a fool out of yourself or make an ass or hurt somebody on accident. It's not on purpose, right? As long as you're going in with good intentions, all is well on all new moons. And I always say to people, the new moon is not like, this is when we put our dreams out to the stars, but it's not really until the first quarter moon that we take action on those manifestations and those dreams and those intentions, and it's like we're in the setting intention phase right now of the new moon, but we still got time to like dream it into being, right? We got the next, while we're in the waxing crescent, we've got this energy of the excitement of what it's going to be. So further, they say, if you're worrying about a situation, it is a suggestion to be less passive. Instead, take an assertive stance as you steer events where you want them to go. Speak up for what you want. If you're serious about sorting things out, you may need to take the lead in some way to step up as a leader. And your mantra, your manifestation energy is, I am taking charge of my destiny. That's your attunement to this new moon and Gemini energy. Can you guys see that? Okay. The additional meanings for this card: be bold and follow your heart and your emotions. Avoid recklessness or moving too fast. Remember at the beginning when I said I felt like I was like, ugh! Yeah, it's like, because that's where the shit, spirit, everything, let's just put it this way, everything's flowing in a natural harmony. That's why Spirit's always saying, go with the flow, live in the moment, live in the now, man. Like, that is because everything itself, like the universe already has its plan, everything's going. Our free will is how we play with it. So if you're fucking around, right, and you're like moving too quickly, you're gonna miss something. You don't know what so the new moons are about, we just got off this energy of, or we're just getting off this energy of the Taurus moon, and then we're going into the new moon in Gemini. So give yourself time to, maybe you don't want to do your manifestations today. That's okay. The biggest part is taking action on the first quarter moon. Make sure you subscribe, because I do moon readings, for the new moon, first quarter, full moon, and third quarter, last quarter. I do 4 moon readings a month, and we do other things, of course, but we will be talking about taking action. So I'm sure they'll pair this together, because they don't normally have me say that a lot. Okay, so there's some, this is so interesting. Ganesha's been coming around a lot lately. Okay. So that's really big, okay? So taking it slow, that's why at the beginning of this, we did a breathing thing. At the beginning of these readings, we did a breathing exercise with Spirit from Carrie Kay. Okay, so the other thing is, come into your power. The time for action is now, right? They said now is the time, now is the hour. You have the strength, you have the power. You get to decide. This is your free will, this is your choice. So ask Ganesha, the Hindu elephant god, for help. So work with Ganesha, okay? So that's your medicine for that. And then the teaching of this is, in astrology, there are the quadruplicity of the moon, right? Cardinal, fixed, and mutable. The cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, which, since you received this, you may be in Aries, Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn, or dealing with this energy, or have it in your chart. You may have all of them. I mean, we all have all of them in our chart, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you may have some like in your moon and your sun. Feel free to comment below. I love when you guys do that. It says, remember, we each have 12 signs in our chart for different parts of our lives. It's just the way the astrological wheel works. These are the signs that like to get things started and which are the natural leaders: Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. No matter when you draw this card, it's a sign that something new is starting and you quite possibly need to take the lead on it. And my eyes went down to 105. And I like that ones are about new beginnings and 0 is like the Fool and the Tarot. Like, I get the vibe that you guys are really powerful energies and entities, and you move through like astral travel. And like, I just feel like, you know, and if you don't know it, research it. That's your homework. Between now and the first quarter moon. Whenever you watch this, it's timeless, of course. But between now and the next first quarter moon that you know, experience, that's the energy I'm getting from Spirit. Let me see if they want you to, I started to say something else and they told me to go up. They kind of made me be quiet. So I take that very seriously. Do we have any more messages for reading 1 for their new moon and Gemini reading? No, we are going to do a little bell clearing though for this. And this is meditation. The only thing I'm getting from Spirit is drink some water, healthy water, stay hydrated, drink out of glass as much as possible, stop drinking out of plastic and eating out of plastic. The microplastics they're telling us this for a reason. They have known for all these years that there would be seepage and we'd get sick. All of the things they've been doing to kill us, everybody's waking the fuck up. Everybody's waking the fuck up because everybody's tired of pumping money into trying to get better. People are tired of pumping money into charities where nothing is getting better, and people, it's like we're getting more sick. The autism in children is like astronomical, and they know this. This was their plan from the beginning, to poison us slowly through our generations because it goes through our blood and bone. Right? If you have a mother who's addicted to heroin, they have a baby and she's doing heroin while she's conceiving the baby literally comes out addicted. So it's just simple math and simple biology of the, you know, human avatar, these like biological meat suits that we're living in, right? It's just another form of, you know, this is fake, of course, which is kind of funny, but right. But it's just another form of, right? Like if you go outside and you cut the grass is going to come back. So our avatars are here to be healthy and be strong, and they can live actually hundreds of years. You know, we've just been sold a really, really bad bill of goods, and it's time for us to restructure, relearn, and, you know, we've been pushing the deprogramming forever, and it's like, yeah, so we're deprogramming, and we've been doing that. We've been planting seeds for that, not just, you know, the light workers and the earth angels, but everybody, right? Because even if you're not a light worker or an earth angel, you could be a really loving energy person who just is like, you know, I was, you know, 100 pounds overweight most of my life, and I was tired of living this way, and so I changed. And then you see that they have a whole, right, their spirituality is life and food and taking good care of themselves. They don't necessarily have to be spiritually connected, right, to have that same connection to themselves and their body. And that's what Spirit's showing us, is that right now there are so many things that are happening all at once, and it is time to use our discernment and our intuition to decide what works for us, what doesn't. With grace and gratitude, thank everything and everyone, even the things that are happening to us, because they're happening for us. And to change the way we think, change the way we speak, change the way our outlook is. I am the same. Every day I have to work at it too. Yesterday in Sacred Sunday, episode 3, it was a little bit of a tongue lashing for all of us to like get fucking real. We all have to get real. We can have the balance. You can have this and you can do that, but you also have to do this and you also have to have that, right? Like certain things that we have to do to balance our lives. It's okay to get a little crazy and, you know, eat certain things that aren't super healthy sometimes, right? But at the other end of it, it's like there are so many things that were given to us by the earth that are not like man-made, or, and I say man-made, not just human-made, but man-made, because it's been a lot that's been, you know, this very divine masculine energy that's been trying to push us and change us. And that is what happened, or that is what we spoke about with the dragons, is that the dragons just want us to open our eyes and to see things from a different vantage point and from a different perspective. So those are your messages. Thank you so much for being here today. And if you'd like to work with me or contribute anything to this channel and the work that we do here, all of my information is in the description box. And we'll see you next time. Take good care of yourself and each other. I love you. Blessed be. Aho. Bye. Welcome reading 2. I meant to do this at the end of reading 1 and then it just went right out of my mind. So welcome reading 2. What messages do you need to hear from Spirit today on this blessed new moon in Gemini energy? This is a very interesting energy because I felt, as you can see, I felt this whimsy. I'm going to take a picture. It's cute. I felt this whimsy and this magical whimsy energy, but I also feel this very heavy, weighted energy. So because I'm feeling that way, I feel like a fairy whose wings are wet and they can't fly until they dry kind of thing. And they're like taking forever to dry. I feel like patience is something that is maybe you're having to deal with it this time. Feel free to comment below. Also, as much as I was like drawn to put all this here, I also kind of feel like Spirit's saying it's time to declutter, because I feel like you're missing things that are like underneath in the background because you've got too much shit. Too much shit. I feel like you can't breathe because there's just too much shit. You know, they're like, keep some stuff, get rid of some stuff, you know, it's okay, but maybe you don't have to have them all in one place. And also I'm hearing like, get used to like, okay, it's not perfect, right? Does somebody want to come in here and like fix it? And they're like, Lula, stop it, make it perfect, stop it, leave it. And they're like, nope, because there's no such thing as perfect. Perfect, so ridiculously overrated, and it's a human thing. It's a fucking human thing, man. It just is. So I'll give you your little jewels and your stuff back, but look at this cute rock that looks like a heart. I saw it in the water, in the clear water. I saw it and I had to have it. And before we even start, I feel like this is Spirit talking to you about your heart chakra, because it's the other reason why I loved it is it's like this natural green color. I live in the Olympic Mountains, or at the foot of them anyway, and the Olympic Peninsula in Washington State. When I looked down, it was 106.16, but I instantly saw 1616, so that's your angel number to work with, 1616. And also, if you add it together, it would be 77, and if you add that together, it's 14, and if you add that together, it's 5. And 5s are about change and transformation, and I feel like it's time for you, reading 2. It's time for a big overhaul, a big transformation. I'm feeling all these things coming through. I also feel like they wanted me to change those around for my scryers. I also have to apologize that in real time it's Memorial Day and I live off a freeway, and all I can say is it's been going since like 6 o'clock this morning, because I'm on a freeway that's like a main thoroughfare around the Olympic Peninsula. So it's like you have to take my like part of the highway to get to like other parts of the peninsula, so it can be like really crazy. So I apologize right out the gate. Also, I'm hearing to drink some water, so let's take a break. I'm gonna pause this right now and drink some water. Get some water if you don't have some, and also get a healthy snack if you need it. I would be remiss not to tell you that when I looked down, it was 107.19, and again I saw 17.19. You're getting a lot of angel numbers. Also, a lot, just, it was like a second for you, but I actually took a moment and took a beat. Sometimes I'll go right into the next reading, and sometimes I get the vibe to like take a minute, take a beat. So I did. So I'm getting this. It was like once I opened the portal, though, it's like you're there. And so while I was like kind of gathering my energy, I was also gathering my thoughts. And I'm hearing for some of you, definitely the northern hemisphere, because I would never push for someone to try and work like 2 or 3 jobs in the winter. It's hard enough to like even survive through winter, especially if you live in a cold climate. But I just got a really clear visual of a job I had many moons ago that I forgot about, and I feel like I meant to tell you this. So whoever this is for, yes, get a second job. Your best bet is to wait tables. Wait tables or bartend, but waiting tables, I can tell you, because I've done both, they have their pros and their cons. I like being the boss and the bartender. You start to realize when you become a bartender, like I was a server first and like built up to a bartender and like, you know, management and all that. But like what I found was that on the server side, what's so cool about it is that like people come and they go, and they come and they go, and they come and they go, and you're just like, okay, you know, that's fine. But you are still like you are at the mercy of the kitchen. You're at the mercy of the bartender. You're at the mercy of their, um, uh, host, whoever the person is that's doing the seating. You know what I mean? Like, you're at the mercy of a lot of people. You have to work together like a team, like a well-oiled machine. And I learned working at many restaurants and working from a very small mom and pop, I have to do everything myself, to working in fine dining where I'm not allowed to touch anything because my nails have to be perfect and pristine. My pens have to be all the same and like aligned. Like, I've worked at the creme de la creme de la creme de la creme, where like the chefs that I worked with were like on the cover of like chef magazines. It is a different fucking experience, let me tell you. But again, there's different freedoms and all that. But I'm hearing for somebody, if I just feel, I feel like somebody wants to or needs to, or maybe both, needs to make a lot of money quick. And Spirit's like, the best way to do that is to work in that field, especially if you're in America where you get tips, because it can change everything. I live in a state where the minimum wage is, I think, $17. And I was like, man, I'm like, servers must be fucking cleaning up, servers and bartenders. I'm like, they probably can like have a home and everything, which as they should. It's a fucking hard job. I've done it off and on for a long, like 2 decades. So it's not easy. But I will say this, that it's a great way to make a lot of money really quickly. And I got so fucking crazy. Like 2 times I worked at 2 different restaurants. Like, I had 2 jobs and both of them were restaurants. And my one friend was like, dude, you're fucking crazy. I'm like, dude, I don't have to go to the gym. Number one. I'm like, number two, if I didn't want to work and I was too tired, I can get somebody to cover my shift, or, whatever, go to work and then like get there. And a lot of times, there's people that are at different levels of hunger, meaning like, if you're sitting pretty and you got money and you go to work and they're like, oh, it's looking slow today, the books are slow, somebody want to go home. If you're doing well, that's when you're like, cool, free day, I'm staying home, or I'm going to go home, or, oh, I'm out already, I'm going to go see if my friends want to have lunch, you know what I mean? Go have a liquid lunch or whatever. I'm talking about myself in my younger years. Right. But then there's those times where you're hustling and you're like, there's someone else. You're like, oh, fuck. And you're like, who wants to be the closer? You're like, I don't want to be the closer, right? Because you want to get the most money you could possibly get until the end of the night. It's a very interesting dynamic and a very interesting world that and my dad owned a restaurant. So I really like kind of have seen it from so many different sides and so many different levels, and dealing with really, people who could barely afford to like eat out, to people who, spend $5,000 in one sitting like it's nothing. Like it's nothing. Yeah, tip you hundreds of dollars. So yeah. I mean, when I told people, I was like, yeah, I would make $1,000 in a weekend sometimes, like take home. So there are ways for you to make money. And even if you've never been a server before, you can still, there are so many places, especially like more of like the small mom and pops, or like for the summer, they're like, sure, you want to fucking take orders, and be like, I'm a quick learner, But I'm just feeling that they're like really having me talk about this, and it came out of absolutely nowhere. So this is for somebody. So if you want to make some money quickly and you want to save, I feel like Spirit's like, no more excuses. Get a second job. Work a little bit harder. You can do it. You can do it. I had this conversation today with my landlord about that, because we're around the same age, and we were talking about like how much we've been like working, on our jobs, and then like working on, like, he owns many properties. So part of our work trade is, we do landscaping and mowing and things like that. And I love it, but I'm like, man, my body's been hurting so bad. But after a week, I looked at my arms and I'm like, there they are. I'm like, there's my arms. There's my strong body, like, I'm not going to let my age fucking tell me like how old I am. Right? So don't let age or circumstance or whatever, like, do your part, do the best you can. Do the best you can with what you got. Just do the best you can with what you got. That's what I'm getting from Spirit. They keep saying that over and over. Just do the best you can with what you got. So even though the cards are kind of like, I would say left to right, I guess, I'm really being pulled to this one first. And interestingly enough, that was the first card, but they had me move it over here. But it's in reverse. And it says, a fiery climax approaches. Also, my throat chakra is like so tight right now. what's the fiery climax? Who? Full moon in Aries. And look at where they had me place it. They had me strategically place those on top, like the mushrooms and stuff like that. So the mushroom is hiding the full moon part. All you see is Aries and the ram. So either you're an Aries or you're dealing with an Aries. If you were drawn to reading 1, you might want to go check that out, because we spoke of Aries energy in that as well. Oh, I have the chills all over my body. Oh, a fiery climax approaches. So now my throat relaxed. So that's good that you're relaxing. Keep relaxing. You've got to talk yourself. You guys, this is the time where you got to fake it till you make it. You get to talk yourself into and out of things. Lately, when I've had things that I have to do, I am my best fucking cheerleader. Now I know why Spirit had me be a cheerleader for almost a decade of my life, because literally I am such a good fucking cheerleader for myself and other people. But I literally in my mind was going dun 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 bam 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 bam. And that song in the words are like getting strong now, right? Because Rocky's getting stronger because he got knocked down. Now he's got to come back. They're like getting strong now, right? Like don't let shit hold you back. Yeah, in reading 1, we spoke about that, about being bold and taking the first move. You know, it's like they're like getting strong now. We're getting strong now. You know, they may have fucking knocked us down, but we are not fucking staying down. We are getting up. We are getting up. We are getting up. I will be your biggest cheerleader. Get the fuck back up. Get up. Get up. Even when you don't want. Oh, I'm starting to cry. Oh. Oh. I love you guys so much. My empathic heart. I just saw so many of you. Gosh darn it. I love you so much. Oh my heart, I love you so much. I know it's hard. I know. You gotta get up. Just get out of bed. Just start there. Can't get out of bed? Do something for yourself while you're laying there. Meditate. Talk to Spirit. Make yourself laugh. Tell yourself jokes. Oh, that came out of nowhere. 1632 is your angel number. I love you so much. It's probably why they were very specific of where and how they wanted me to put the card. So I'm going to come into the left here. They also had me change my rings too, like, which is kind of interesting. Have faith in your dreams. Waxing crescent moon. We are in the waxing crescent. Well, actually, that's not true. We are in the new moon. I apologize. In the last reading, we were talking about other things. Oh, look at, they're like, can you scoot that over? I'm like, oh, they wanted you to, faith. They wanted faith right there. They were very specific about it. I'm like, okay, it's hard because I can't see. I've got tears in my eyeballs. I can't see. Oh, that's what they're trying to show you. You're not having faith in your dreams because you're not seeing the big picture. You keep covering your dreams with pretty sparkly things, and that's lovely, but like, you need to look at it from a different vantage point. Have faith in your dreams. And this waxing crescent moon, so okay, so that's why I was saying that, because in reading 1, we spoke a lot about that, and I'm not going to go into the whole thing. If you're interested, go check it out. If you're not, it's not meant for you. That's okay. That's like when do you ever walk through the grocery store in America? Okay, so walking through the grocery store the other day, I literally heard like music, and I was like jamming out, and I was like, cool. And then like a commercial came on, but it was like a sponsored one, like from like the pharmacy, like for drugs, right? And it was like all like happy, whatever. And then he's like, and you might failed, impaired, bloating, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, what the fuck? And this guy and I both looked at each other. I go, what the hell? I'm like, it's like faster than an auctioneer. I'm like, what is happening? There's just so much like subliminal shit that's happening. And it's time for you to like, I'm literally like, Spirit is literally showing me a visual of you like tearing, like it's so hardcore, but they're watching me like tearing the fabric of your past, of your thoughts, of like these false narratives that you've been living under. This looked like an egg to me, and I feel like here you are sitting on this egg of like sparkled jewels. Speaking of, they had me change my rings for this reading. So it's like, maybe you're a jewelry maker, or maybe you're somebody who wants to be a jewelry maker. Look at this cool old vintage ring. I was blessed by a tribe member. Tribe member gave me this. Blah, blah, blah. So all of these things. Also, they have me bring in 2 fucking chevron amethysts, like they're not playing around. Research with chevron amethyst. One of our tribe members, she sent this box, and I was really pulled to open it before the Sacred Sunday episode 3 yesterday. In real time, it's Monday, Memorial Day in America. Long story short, she sent me a chevron amethyst. She sent a lot of stuff. This cool selenite charging station, so many things. And this beautiful, beautiful magical fairy crystal, titanium aura. I've wanted one forever, and I've been waiting for the right one to come into my orbit. It's so amazing. Thank you, Zoe. It's just been really intense out there, and Spirit knows that, but it's time to she also sent this one, this agate. See, Zoe? See how much power you have, girl? You know it, right? And look I just heard, I feel like some of you are not because of the shadow aspect of yourself. And they're like, but the shadow aspect is part of who you are. When I was getting this reading, if you didn't watch the beginning of this, when I was putting the reading together and channeling Spirit, this behind that literally fell from it's up on my wall, really high up, above the TV. We don't even watch the TV. The TV came with this Airbnb, and we bought it. We've never even used it. And I've tried certain things. And the only thing I was like, I'll just put that on there. I'm like, because I don't really see the TV. I just see it as a blank space, And it's matted, right? So it doesn't feel like a portal or anything. It's just kind of there. So I have had this there forever, just to make it look more fairy-like and cute in here. I bump that thing all the fucking time. Never nudges. I'm sitting here, I'm across the, and I'm several feet away, and it just fell. And then I was like, oh yeah, it's meant to be in here, right? This little whimsy. It's I started hearing Willy Wonka when this started, the original Willy Wonka, not the, Timothy Chalamet, which is fine, Timothy, which is fine. Timmy, whatever they go by. I hear all these different names. I'm like, I don't know what they go by, but, I eventually want to watch their version because they're a great actor. And it's the pre-Wonka. It's how Willy Wonka came to be, So I feel like a lot of people said that he would have done Gene Wilder proud. But there was a big emphasis on that before this started. So maybe you were a child that grew up watching Willy Wonka or some version of it. They also had the Johnny Depp version. Maybe you grew up with that one, not the original Gene Wilder, like myself. I was born in 71. So there's all of these factors that are coming in right now, and I'm feeling all this creative energy that's just bursting at the seams to come out. And this chevron amethyst definitely wants to work with you. So work with agate and the titanium aura and the amethyst, chevron amethyst. If you don't have them, that's okay. You can still research and work with them and call on those energies. I will tell you though, it is nice to have them in person as well. They do feel like this, when I opened it, I'll put a link below to the unboxing because Zoe really outdid herself this time. Thank you, fairy sister. But when I opened the box, I was a little kid, and I swear to God, I feel like it was my best friend Penelope, because I had this crystal. One of the first crystals I ever was blessed with was from my very first shaman teacher that I walked with, and she gave me this massive apophyllite that was these kind of colors. Actually, it was this selenite, if the selenite met that, and it was just the most gorgeous apophyllite. It looked like a vagina, a beautiful, glorious, divine feminine, the most soft. I can't even explain it. It was just so beautiful. And she told me her name was Penelope, and I had her forever. And then I took her on my travels, and my second cousin, so powerful, very, very witchy, awesome, powerful. I can go on and on. Angel, the whole family, they're all just really gifted, every one of them. And they all have such cool gifts. How cool. And they all know it, which is even more cool. And use it for good as much as they can, as far as I know. I just know their souls. They're very beautiful souls. But anyway, I was told to leave it with her, and I was like, what? I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, no, I didn't want to part with it, you know? But the interesting thing is, I swear when I opened this, it was like that kind of energy I had when I saw Penelope for the first time, where I was like, oh no, I think you're going to be here for a minute. Because, you know, my partner's birthday's in a few days, and my first thing was like, oh, I want to give it to him. I want to give it to him. I want to give it to him, you know, because I love to like give people things. Even if it's precious to me, it's like, I like to be like, look at this pretty shiny thing, you know? But they were like, no, it's going to be there for a minute. So maybe you're called to work with it as well. It's just really powerful. I mean, I've felt this really strong fairy energy from it, like from the second I saw it. I mean, it's like, I mean, the more I look at it, I swear it's like I don't know, it's like if a fairy threw up on the ground, like this is what I imagined their throw up would look like. You know what I mean? Like just pure magic, not throw up, just, you know, start. Oh, look at that heart. There's also hearts all over this. I don't know if Zoe knows that or not. And this may be Zoe's reading, but anyway, we are so blessed. Thank you. Okay, so that being said, a fiery climax approaches. I want to see if they want us to read the book. The other reading, I felt instantly like I wanted to read the book. And this one, I'm feeling like a little like hold back a minute. So I want to hear what the hold back means. There's always a reason. And sometimes I can't see it for what it is. Even like this kind of stuff. Because like, you know, you guys scry. We like to scry and stuff. So they have me put things in certain ways. Okay, do we want to read from the book for either card? Okay. I don't know if they want me to pull any more cards, but I kind of feel like there's a cliffhanger, so I don't know if that's your message, is like, I was saying this with reading 1, I feel like the new moon intentions and blessings that are coming through today are so special. You know, because it is a super moon and it's time for super intentions, super manifestations. And the more you have faith in your dreams, the more like the fiery climaxes will happen. You know, if you're staying stagnant or you're staying in one place because you think, you know, it's going to help you or you feel it makes you feel safe or comforted, they're like, no, you need to step out of your comfort zone. Here's the other chevron. Amethyst wants to come in here too. They're like, no. This is time for you to step out of your comfort zone. And you need that shadow. We all, if anything, this is you. And look at how perfect you are. Like you need to have that. You have more light in you. You're actually more, here's what I'm hearing from Spirit, is you're actually more balanced than you think. It's just that I feel like you're only showing like certain parts of yourself to the world instead of like showing all of you to the world. I'm getting this like, you're only like showing this. Look I'm light and happy all the time. Everything's great. But you're feeling kind of jaundiced. You know what I mean? Like, look at this face. It's like, it's almost kind of like you have no mouth, right? Like your eyes are kind of glazed over. By the way, this reminds me of like a seal or a bear or something. So if you see anything too, I felt like this wanted to be scried with. Anytime you guys send me gifts like this, I always know it's for work. It's for the channel. So, and also they're saying, look at how this is more brown. It's not black. It's like you have that, like you can spew the venom if you have to, but you don't have to. And you can set the boundaries. You get to decide what you see, right? Just like on this moon, you get to decide what you see and what you don't see. It's nobody's business. You know, you're a light worker. You have a strong path and a strong purpose here. But I feel like some of you see how this kind of like the light lost it. You have to find the light. Spirit's like, you have to find the light. It's your job to look for it within. Having a shitty day? Watch something funny. You know, feeling depressed and sad, but you can't cry? Watch something that you know is going to make you cry, because Spirit is saying, clearly you have to get it out, and then you'll get closer to your dreams. Every time you plant a seed. This came up in the other one too. Also, these are the last few weeks of spring in the Northern Hemisphere. I apologize for the traffic. But even for the Southern Hemisphere, right? Like we plant in the fall too, to get those things to come out in the spring. So, you know, it's about setting the intentions now. having faith in your dreams. And also your dreams can change, not just year to year, but month to month and day to day and minute to minute sometimes, right? Have you ever been at a theme park and you're like having the best day ever and you're just like, oh my gosh, imagine if you lived here? But then the irony, or the irony, but the truth is, maybe irony, but the truth is, if you lived in that every day, you probably would not want to live in an amusement park, riding on rides and doing that shit every day and eating fucking, cotton candy and hot dogs. You'd feel like shit, right? Because you need a really good, healthy salad, an heirloom salad of good greens and fruits and vegetables and seeds and good protein. We need the balance. This is beautiful. I got to take a picture. And this is you. This is you. Spirit wants you to start looking at yourself through a brand new lens. Gosh, seriously, thank you, Zoe. My goodness. There's so many things in here that are new from her that have just really made this so magical. And thank you, Spirit, for knocking my fun little fairy thing off, because it's been so whimsy and wonderful in this reading. I love you. I know you're going through a tough time. But you know what? The fiery climax approaches is telling you that it's coming. And you're going to be okay. And you know what's even better? The full moon that's impending in real time here is the full moon in Sagittarius, which is a fire sign. So that could be for some of you that it's just about an Aries energy, but it could also be that, you're a fire sign. And it's a wink, wink from Aries saying like this full moon in Sagittarius, you don't know what's going to come through. But also I feel like for a lot of us, it's going to be the full moon in Aries. But again, it's not that far away because you know what? It'll be the next fire cycle. So we would have Sagittarius, then Capricorn, then Aquarius, then Pisces, and Aries. So we're looking at from 4 to 5 months whenever you watch this reading, because the message is timeless. The real time is the new moon's in Gemini. Mercury is in Gemini. The sun is in Mercury. You know what I mean? Like we've got all this energy. We've got the Jupiter. I don't know, I'm not an astrologer, but I know that the Sagittarius energy is really strong as well right now. So we work with the energies that we have when they are available to us. And 4 to 5 months from now can go by very quickly. But in real time, if you're watching this, that's not that far away, you guys. That's the fall. So we just got to get through summer and winter, depending on which hemisphere you're in, and working on ourselves, working on our dreams, and putting the faith into action. So when that fiery climax approaches, when those stars align for you, you know what I mean? Like today's a really powerful day for my partner. I was like, dude, this is a really powerful day for you. I'm like, you're a triple Gemini and your moon's in Sagittarius. This is like miracles happen kind of day. So, it's like, but for someone else who has different alignment, this could be a day that maybe things aren't going to go their way. Because that's how the fucking ball bounces, right? The ancestors just came in. The elders are like, because that's how it goes. It goes one way to the other. Although also I just heard that's how it goes, big nose. And they're not saying this to be jerky or whatever, but it's like, I feel like that's a wink, wink from like somebody from the other side that used to say that before that was like politically incorrect. You know what I mean? To say something like that and be rude. Right? But I feel like that's a wink, wink for somebody. And that's not a negative to be rude. Okay? Also, I have got to tell you that I have seen this as, I'm going to see if I can get in there. Where am I at? I have seen this as a snake, especially because it's got like the thing coming out, like the tongue. I feel like, we're in the year of the snake. And I feel like for some of you, this is the fiery climax that approaches this whole year in the year of the snake. And they want you to hold faith in your dreams because your life is going to fucking fall apart and it's going to shatter and it's going to feel like nothing's ever going to be the same again. And you know what? It's not. If you are part of this tribe, that's me taking screenshots because it was really pretty. That I've had one of the hardest, most tumultuous years of my life. But you know what? I also know that I need to level my fucking house, just like the house I'm living in. I have been working on this house for over a year. And there are times I just want to scream and rip my hair out and just like, you know what I mean? And then there are other days where I'm like, but this is my house and I can do as I please. And I have to remember that, but I have to remember that things take time. And snakes are about shedding and rebirth. And that's what this year is. 2025 is about the shedding and the rebirth. It's also a number 9, like we're almost there. We're almost there, but you got to keep working. You got to build a little bit toward your dreams every day, even if you're just putting the manifestation out there every day. You know, build an altar for your dreams and all the things that you want to add to your dreams, like a vision board or a poster, you know, dream board. You know, you can do that with things like this, you know, and have cards and things like, you know, like if this were your house right now, I would tell you, leave this out until you get to the next thing, and then pull more cards, move things around, right? Because every moon cycle, it's here to give us a new chance, a new opportunity to plant those seeds into the universe. Now, of course, people will say, oh, it's all predestined. Oh, it's fate. Yes, but that is the free will we have, is to help it along. And we can either drag it along and make it more painful, or we can get there sooner. You know, we're always going to, the old saying, right? A wizard always arrives exactly where when and where they're meant to. But Gandalf would say, a wizard arrives exactly when he's meant to, right? But we do know that everything is predestined, but there is free will that's part of that. So you can make it easier for yourself, or you can make it harder for yourself. And Spirit's saying, when you're making it harder for yourself, 9 out of 10, it's because you're living in the wrong energy, the wrong place with the wrong people. You're moving too fast. You're not moving fast enough. You know what I mean? You're not going in the rhythm of the rain. You're not going with the rhythm of Gaia, with the rhythm of the earth. And that's where you need to be, right? With the rhythm. Those are your messages. I love you so much, reading too. If you would like to work with me, or if you would like to donate anything to all the work that I do on this channel, all of my information is in the description box, and prayers are free. So until next time, good karma for you and for me. Take good care of yourselves and each other. I'll see you. I love you. Blessed be. Oh, bye. Welcome, reading 3. I thought we'd do a nice little smudge before we start, especially for those of you, I know you like to watch the whole thing all the way through. So one of our tribe members, Zoe, made these with her own hands. Blessed sacred stick. Thank you, Spirit. Look at how beautiful this altar is that they made for us today. Oh my goodness. I'm going to leave this here so we can continue to get that good energy coming in. I wish we had smell-o-vision. It smells so good. So I'm going to come up here a little bit. It's interesting. The energy has been so different from each one, and I just hear Billie Eilish, you know, like this very melancholy, like kind of like, it feels very sacred and ritual. So let's just take a few moments to take some deep breaths. And move that energy, that oxygen through our avatar. We're cleansing away the energy of the past. This is a brand new moon, a brand new cycle, a brand new chance, a brand new opportunity to plant the seeds so that you can reap all the benefits for what you sow now. My beautiful witches and healers and deep down believers in magic. What's your dream? Everybody's got a dream. What's your dream? You know, the Gemini is an air sign, so we used a feather earlier, but the butterfly wanted to come in here now. It's interesting because I felt like she wanted like room to turn, so I almost feel like it's going to be like a bit of scrying almost. You know, like when she turns, I feel like she'll be like, okay, turn me now. You know what I mean? But seriously, I'm feeling this very, like, see the rainbow, like, underneath there? I'm just feeling this very powerful, this is you, right? Like, you're effervescent. But if you're not in the right light, you can't see how much you glow. Do you see that? So we're going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about that. Because, like, even from there, like, right? Like, if I bring the camera in, see how you can... When I move it around like that, sparkly, 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 pretty, pretty, pretty. And that's you. Sparkly, 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 pretty, pretty, pretty. but I'm feeling this very, almost like a defeatist attitude. It doesn't feel like it's everybody. Look at that. My phone's like, well, not everybody, right? My phone's, or spirit's showing me through the phone. That's just what I felt. Because before that, when I first opened the portal for your reading, I was feeling really good. And I was feeling really excited to like see where we were going to go, especially when the butterfly wanted to come in, being all sparkly. I was like, oh, you know, what rainbows, what magic are we going to work with today? So I don't know what your card is. We pulled the cards at the beginning of this, but I have no idea. I, left it under wraps. So let's see what your North Star is. Because I feel like each of these readings is just like little seeds for spirit to plant into your, atmosphere, orbit, all of the above, right? Like they just want to plant in your world and your brain, like to help guide you to the next path. So I'm going to be quiet and here we go. Oh, prosperity lies ahead. New moon in Taurus. Okay, so because these have timelines on them, I always take them for what they are. And because we're in the new moon in Gemini and we just left Taurus, I'm going to see if we can pull more cards or at least go into the book and see, because technically right now it's not fully Gemini. It's not the new moon in Taurus, but it's not fully, because we still have a few hours before it goes fully into Gemini. So I want to see what they have to say about that. And I also want to see, we haven't read the book for everybody. So I want to see, do we want to read from the book for this one right now? Okay. So we're going to go in. Thank you, Spirit. So reading 3. Oh, I forgot I put the flash on. Let me see if it looks, let's see what it looks like if I take it off. It kind of looks the same. I almost felt like they wanted me to take it off. Ooh, sorry. I'm like, I'm not ready for you. I love you, but I hit the wrong thing. I'm like, I love you, but I'm like, I'm in my comfies and like not up for that, but that's okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to give you a little fright there. Because I thought I was going to hit, I'm trying to see how much, I thought basically I thought Spirit was trying to tell me like I need to put my phone on the charger or I need to turn the flash off. That's the energy I got. And then I kind of got the energy, they're like, you don't need the flash anyway. And also look at how much everything changed. Drink some water, throat chakra's getting tight. By the way, I'm not just saying this, but almost every single time I do these readings, I make sure I look at least kind of cute just in case something like that happens. And the one time I don't, I'm like, it's kind of funny. But that's okay, because all is well, all is well, all is well, all is well. Oh no, I may need to, oh no, she's got it. I thought I saw a grandmother, a spider in need, but she got it. Okay. But I feel like they wanted us to change the lighting. So to change the perspective, we spoke about this, I think in reading 1 or reading 2, I don't remember now, but 4213 is your angel number. It could also be ages, or it could be mirrored numbers like 24 to 42. You know what I mean? Like whatever it means to you. But yeah, look at how the lighting changed. Look how everything changed. Maybe that's what they're trying to say. Like your outlook, your prosperity lies in your outlook. And some of you may not like to hear this right now, but right now you're laying the foundation for, by the next new moon in Taurus, which is only 11 months away, the number of the angels, right? By the next moon in Taurus, all of the seeds that you plant today, all of the good that you put out into the world today, everything that, or when you watch this reading, you know what I mean? Like during this time, during this Gemini moon, because it's a supermoon, right? It's a supermoon. So when we have a supermoon, those are super intentions, super manifestations, super outlooks, super prosperity. They're just saying it literally all lies in your mindset. And the seeds that you plant during this moon cycle, and whenever you watch this, it's timeless. But the seeds that you plant during this moon cycle are absolutely going to come to fruition next year. And they're saying for some of you, just be open to the outcome. Stop attaching yourself. I got this from spirit. I already put my intentions. I had a very beautiful, very simple moment with the new moon in Gemini energy today, and it was quick and concise and to the point, and I realized what was happening, and it was exactly what I needed. And I hadn't put an intention out there like that in a really long time, and it was done. Sometimes I like to do a whole ritual and write it down and burn it. Do that. This is definitely one to do that on. And maybe I'll do something later. But I definitely felt like there was something that clicked in me, that it wasn't just me going, okay, I'm going to say, it wasn't flighty. It was, speaking of air energy and the butterfly, right? It's like in Gemini, it was very grounded, and I was like, okay. And so now then I even went a little bit further and asked my guides and spirit to continue to help me and guide me on that path, to stop using, certain words or energies, and to like point out when I'm using that so that I can keep working at it. Sometimes, you guys, it's not like just like, as much as I like the thing is like twiddly doo, you know what I mean? It's like, and you're sparkly, you know what I mean? It's like 1 minute you're dull, the next minute you're sparkly because I did my little magic wand, right? Like there's something to that, of course, but at the same time, and spirit loves the ritual. The ritual is just showing spirit that you're serious and that you're into it, but you can still do it in a private moment without having to go through all the bells and whistles. One of my shamans once said to me, I said, how come you don't wear crystals, or you don't, blah, blah, blah. And her whole body was tattooed. And she said, this is my form of protection. This is my connection, with spirit, and I'm paraphrasing, I would be speaking for them, obviously, but I don't remember exactly what she said, but it was to that effect. And because I was so obsessed with, like, I couldn't leave the house without my rings. I couldn't leave the house without my crystals. I couldn't, and one of our tribe members recently said that. They're like, well, I have all these crystals. Like, can't they protect me? I'm like, yes, they can protect you. And yes, I was just talking about how I feel like this is like an old friend of mine, Penelope, that came back to me. I was so excited to see her, but she came back to me in a different crystal, in a different way. She's a spirit guide. She's gonna, you know what I mean? It's like they're all different ways, shapes, and forms, and they're trying to get us to let go of attachments, especially because that's so connected to the 3D, like, 3D, like, mine, that's mine. And, or, I worked hard for that. Yeah, you worked hard for that. That's cool. But you know what? That is if you give up this one thing now, this other big, awesome thing is going to come to you later. You know what I mean? So you have to trust in that divine timing. You have to trust in that spirit. You have to trust that, like, everything that comes through our lives, people, places, things, situations, it's like, it could be for, a few seconds, or it could be for our entire lives. We never know. And that's why they want us to cherish every moment and cherish everything that we have, so that when it moves on, we don't have an attachment to it. We can be like, oh, cool. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for helping someone else. Recently, Bubba came to me, my familiar that passed, and she told me, she's like, I'm with you all the time. I'm with you every day. And there's some times where I'm like, wow, like I can feel her here. You know what I mean? If she's in a spider, in a bird, whatever, she's in a crystal, but she's so powerful. She'll take on a form. But then there are times where I can feel like her saying to me, like, she's already somewhere. She's already in a body somewhere. She's either an animal, or she's in a human, or she's somewhere. And she was trying to tell me, like, beings like us, all of us, we're in multiple places at once, right? It's like having multiple personalities. We're in multiple places at once. But at the same time, there are certain places where our energy needs to be more focused at that time. So like when we're in our dream state, that's why you might be like, wow, I feel like I went from place to place to place. You probably did. You know what I mean? Jumping from energy to energy, entity to entity, through different dimensions and times and wormholes and black holes. And you know what I mean? This was at the bottom. So that's why I said that about the black hole. But interesting, look at that. Another new moon in Cancer. That was at the bottom of the deck. You and your loved ones are safe, right? So that's what it is. It's like, I feel like some of you are getting attached to comfort, safety, home. And they're like, but what is home? You are home. You are home wherever you are. Your prosperity lies in your thoughts. It lies in your actions, right? Your words, your spelling, right? We are constantly co-creating together. We are constantly changing and evolving, and that's what we're meant to do. We've just been in this prison of the third dimensional, stay here, stay in this job, stay in this cubicle, blah blah. I mean, the Matrix had it all the way, all along, all the, you know what I mean? Like, it feels like the Wizard of Oz, where she's like, you had the power all along. It's like the Matrix showed us. And a lot of people know, right? Because we've seen it. For some of us that grew up and, you know, we were born in one, like I was born right after the age of Aquarius, which is kind of interesting because I feel like when I'm talking to like certain people in my family, I can tell that they really do, like, they're like, you're from fucking, I don't know where you're from. You know what I mean? And it's not in a positive way. It's like, they're like, because they were born before the age of Aquarius. And I feel like for those that were born before the age of Aquarius, they're either light workers and they were brought here, you know, during that time to help aid. And right, they were the real, right? You know what I mean? Like, we think we're struggling and suffering now. I mean, look at our ancestors for thousands of years. Look at all of what they've endured, the horrific things they've endured. Most people, if you're watching this right now, you've lived in a time where you had a telephone. You can easily call somebody. You didn't have to fucking write a letter and have it take months to get there and then take months to come back. Like, right? Like you're in, you know, England and you're fucking writing a letter to Egypt. It's going to take a minute to get to that person, and then they read it, and then they have to write back and then put it back in the post and it come back to you. Now you can just fucking text somebody in a second. That's not technology. That's just us using, like, it's basically, if you look at it like this, like the leaders and like the egomaniacs and all these people are trying to control and, like, you know, mine, and money and control. Some of them, it might be the last time they get to live here. So, you know what I mean? But they don't realize that they're going to have to, whatever you reap what you sow, man. So anything you put out there, that fucking karma is going to come back to you. You know? And right now, I feel like it's about us light workers, you know, new earth, you know, dwellers, like we, earth angels, like, you know, we are rewriting history in a completely different way, except for, you know, over time, things will be released. Why do you think Hitler burned? I mean, I don't know if you know this or not, but do you know that Hitler burned a lot of historical things, from texts, you know, and not like a text on your phone. I'm talking like, you know, scrolls and like old ancient things that were written thousands of years ago, paintings, sculptures, destroyed them, burned them. They were the stories of our people. People tell stories not just through like books and storytelling or writing in a Bible or a religious text. They tell stories through their art, through movement, through dance, through theater. You know what I mean? Like, we tell stories, we retell the stories of humanity. So we are the record keepers. If you found yourself here reading 3, this is more than just a culmination of this entire new moon and Gemini reading. This is a new earth reading for all. This is a wake-up call to the warriors. This is a wake-up call to the love inside us all, that prosperity is ahead, because we're done with that bullshit. Do you notice how the bull is like, it almost looks like the bull's in front of the dark of that sliver moon? So it's like we're right at the beginning of the age of Aquarius, you know? I was born in 71. Age of Aquarius came in 69. So in 53 years, I have watched so much happen. I've watched things happen that I never thought would happen in my lifetime. And then other things haven't happened that I thought for sure would have happened in my lifetime. You know what I mean? Like, I thought for sure we'd be with flying cars and hovercrafts, and that would be a normal, natural thing for everybody. But it's not. And it's not, because we're still in this, we could be running on like fuels that are good for the planet, the atmosphere, the solar system, right? Because here's the thing, they're treating Earth like a fucking garbage bin, and all of it affects everything. Why do you think that we have all these beings from other galaxies and solar systems? And why do you think they're here helping us? Because all of us are connected. They're connected to us too. So they're like, stop fucking shitting on Gaia. Gaia is like, we all need Gaia. She helps us. I mean, I don't know how it works. I'm just saying, you know, right? Like, for all we know, they're here because this is one of the, you know, planets that needs to be here in order for, you know, all beings to be here. Who knows? On this planet, we are human beings in these avatars. Who fucking cares what color, what's hanging off you, what you look like. You know what I mean? Who fucking cares? And I meant like penis and like breasts. You know what I mean? Like they're just part of the evolutionary process of the humankind. So many things have been fucked with, messed with, and we are here to set it straight. And your mission, should you choose to accept it, and this new moon in Gemini energy, is to set your intentions and your goals, sit with spirit, meditate and say, please bring me signs, give me messages, you know, whatever works for you, whatever your connection is with your deities, with your higher self, you know, with spirit, the almighty, benevolent creator, whatever you want to call it, you know. They're all here. You know, I called everybody in. I always say, come in who's ever meant to be here, right? From all levels, all beings, I am very blessed to be able to hold that energy. I was built and created like a human robot to be able to hold these energies that are so big and so vast that when I first started this, I couldn't barely do anything after a reading. You should feel what just came in right now. It's so strong that I could barely hold my body together, my particles together. And I was getting that from spirit too. Like, you know, I'm growing, I'm getting stronger. Just in the last week, I've been working around the yard and like really like, you know, tearing weeds out with my hands and using like machines and all these things. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, muscle memory, man. I'm 53, but like my body is getting stronger and stronger. And I'm feeling that, you know, like Rocky vibe, you know, getting strong now. So spirit's like, we are full butterflies. We are out of the cocoon. We have no more excuses. You know, we may be in the shadow. You can still be full butterfly out and still be working in the shadow. You could be in the dark night of the soul and still be the butterfly. Let me tell you, I know from experience, it's true. You know, you still got glow and light in you yet. You have got so much to do, and it's like the Smokey and the Bandit. We got a long way to go and ain't short time to get there, right? So now they're like, we don't have any more time. This is it. This supermoon, this new moon in Gemini, whenever you watch this, they're timeless. But definitely in the flow of this energy right now, and with the Jupiter energy of Sagittarius, which is the polar opposite of Gemini, there's so much magical gold energy happening during this time. So use it. Work with it. Do we want to pull any more cards? I think that's it. Oh, I love how I'm like, is there any bottom card? Because a lot of times I shuffle when my eyes are closed. It's like, nope, that's it. Let me see if we have any more. Do we have any more channeled messages, Spirit? They said, no, you got this. And I feel like some of you have already been watching other readings for this new moon in Gemini, or you will be or something. And they're like, follow the breadcrumbs. I feel like something I say or something else somebody else said, like somehow, or either their words are clicking with mine now, which is right, because we're just channeling. We're just divine energy channeling, right? So it doesn't matter who it's coming from. But in the languaging that I'm feeling from spirit, some of you are going to connect the dots, and I'm hearing follow the breadcrumbs, follow the breadcrumbs. Also, I'm seeing the Eye of Horus, and I've been seeing the Eye of Horus a lot lately. I feel like somebody, you either just tattooed that or you've been wanting to tattoo that, and I heard yes, absolutely. But I'm hearing I don't know, I'm seeing hands. So I don't know if you wanted to tattoo it on the back of your hand or the palm of your hand or something, whatever. I don't want to tell you what to do, because it's between you and spirit and the Eye of Horus, you know. And research the Eye of Horus. You know, Egyptian's been coming up a lot lately, because so many of our ancestors are coming through. You know, the magic never dies, right? It just keeps growing and growing through our lineage and our blood and bone. One of my favorite readers of all time on YouTube is White Feather Tarot, and she lives in Egypt. And I love sometimes when she starts to tell stories and I'm like, oh, more. I'm like, more, Reem, more. I'm like, tell us more, right? Like, I love her stories, because I'm like, I mean, she fucking grew up there. Can you imagine? I mean, it's such a sacred place. I've been blessed to travel quite a lot, and I've been to some of the most sacred places in the world. And when you're there, there is a fucking feeling, man. There is a resonance that I can't explain. Also, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you this. I keep seeing over here, I feel like this looks like mountains to me. I feel like either someone wants to go to the mountains, or the mountains are calling you, or spirits like, or the hills or something like that. I'm feeling like, yes, 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 go to the hills, go to the mountains, go for that walk, move there, like whatever your connection is to that. I'm hearing yes. Okay, yes. Oh, here we go. We're doing some channeling. I feel like a bunch of people just came in, and I feel like somebody started rolling dice. So I don't know what that means. Because I took it as like a funny thing, like, are you guys gonna like take numbers? Or are you throwing dice to see who gets to go first? Okay. Do we have any questions? Okay, hold on. Okay, so right when I looked down, the deck was cut. It fell forward. So this is a message. Believe in the impossible. Blue moon. I don't know when the blue moons are, but they're usually coming up in like the summer. So not usually, I shouldn't say that, because that's why they call it once in a blue moon, because a blue moon is just when you have 2 full moons in the same cycle. So that's why they say once in a blue moon. We'll have to look it up. I don't have my book here, so that's your mission should you choose to accept it. And if there isn't one for the rest of this year, I feel like for somebody this is a timeline. But you need to believe in the impossible. And also look at how I feel like they want me to put that there. Like it's like the background. No? Okay. I'm like, there's something this one too. Something wicked this way comes, but they're saying, but not in a bad way. Something is coming. Winter is coming. I heard winter is coming. Something is coming, and I don't know exactly what it is. And if you were drawn to reading 1, this was their message. So if you were really drawn to reading 1, if not, maybe it's just the cardinal moon. Research the cardinal moon energy. But the cardinal moon is the cardinal signs, which are Aries, Capricorn, Libra, and I think Virgo. I don't know for sure. So these could be people that, you know, are in this reading for you, or it could be talking about you. Maybe be bold and make the first move is like somebody on that sign. And I'm hearing it's not necessarily a relationship, although it could be. It felt like a job. When I looked down, I saw 2 minutes or 2 hours and 26 seconds, but I saw that as a date. So I feel like February 26th. Today in real time is May 26th, so that could be something for it too. And maybe February is your birthday, but there's some connection there. But it could be actually an old friend of mine. Happy birthday, Bruce. His birthday is February 26th. I always remember because my dad's birthday was February 28th, and he was the only person I ever dated that was like had a birthday that close to one of my parents. And I knew him for a long time. But anyway, I digress. So maybe that's for somebody. Maybe that's a shout out. I don't know. I'm going to leave that there. But yeah, be bold and make the first move, I felt was like a job. And I just got the chills over my body. And also, I don't know if you have been scrying, but there's a bunch of scrying going on right now. I felt like I wanted to move things around. There's like something going on over here, like a face or something. I don't know, but really cool. Yeah, I feeling like it could be an entrepreneurship. That's the word I just heard was entrepreneur. So it could be it's time for you to start, be bold, and you know, they're saying sometimes you got to start. I was watching something recently where they're like, oh wow, this is such a great restaurant. And she was a chef, and she's like, oh yeah, you know, I had to give up a lot for this. And she's like, what do you mean? She's like, well, at first I started selling it, you know, stuff out of my car. And then she's like, then I set up like a kind of like a road stand. And then I wasn't sure if I should, you know, get a food cart or whatever. And they were in a farmer's market. And I know in Squim, this is a few years ago now, there was this local chef that would set up, and like Alder and I would go and spend like $25, $26 for like 2 things of food from her. But dude, it was fucking worth every morsel. I was like every time we saw her, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's here, because she was vegan. So everything she made was like, I knew that I could eat it. And she didn't use gluten. Like she did everything naturally. She like, I think she even had her own bees or something for her own honey. And so we would get like, you know, a big thing of chili, and then like a big hunk of cornbread. And then by the time we tipped her and everything, it was like, you know, $25. And we would laugh and be like, holy shit, we just gave her $25 for this. And I'm like, but it's fucking worth it. You know what I mean? Like, you have to look at it like, if I was in a restaurant, would I pay $25 for that? No, but probably not. I'll be honest. Even though it was that good, I probably wouldn't. But at the same time, I know, because I've got restaurant experience, you have to pay for what you're paying for when you go to a restaurant isn't just what the food is worth. You're paying for the overhead, you're paying for the staff, you're paying for the rent, you're paying for the insurance. You know what I mean? We're like at a farmer's market, it's like they just have to pay the price for the day for the market. But I also know as a fellow vegan that it is expensive to make really good, healthy food from scratch. And the portions were very large. So I felt happy to give it to her because I know that she's going to get every dime of that. And I know that she had to shop for that. I know that she had to prepare the menu, you know, and it was fucking delicious. She is a phenomenal chef, and I wish I could remember her name. But every time we saw her, we were like, yay! Like we would go there first because we would rather eat with her even one meal, you know what I mean? And give up something else if we had to, kind of thing, you know, because at that time we were like saving for our house and stuff. So we were rebuilding that cabin. And so, you know, it's just, you have to put your money where you feel the worth is. And don't look at it like, you know, sometimes, yes, like I always say to you guys, you know, it's about the exchange of energy, you know, like I'll say it now so I don't have to say it again at the end. Like, right, like I always say, thank you so much, you know, for the exchange of energy, you know, whether it's through donations, through booking readings with me or saying a prayer, right? Not all of those are money involved. Prayers are free, and prayers are just as powerful, right? You can pray for abundance for me. You can pray for abundance for yourself and for others, right? Like no prayers are ever unanswered. They are just answered in divine timing. And they're answered in the way that is in the greatest and highest good for your path, for your purpose, for your full-on journey and trajectory of that journey, that connection with spirit. Like I've been feeling like these two things, like they want to, like I feel, see, look at that. I feel like lately certain things, like I feel like you've been feeling scattered and spirit's like, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. You're okay. You got this. You got this. You know, some people are afraid to go outside their comfort zone because they're so used to things being a certain way. And spirit's like, but you've got to take that leap. You've got to take that chance, because what's laying at the other side of that chance is your life that you want so desperately. You know, the green onyx, this is the first time I wanted to come into a reading, so I don't know if you've been scrying with that either, but this is a really powerful, powerful piece. I was so blessed to find this at a yard sale, and the woman was like, oh yeah, my family gave it to me, and I was like, what the fuck is it? I could tell it was really heavy and it wasn't fake. I'm like, this is real. So look at the veins. Sorry, I'm gonna put it on there so you can see the veins of it. It's really powerful. But I love it too because it reminds me of a big, beautiful nipple, like the divine feminine, you know, like looking right at us. But it also looks like an eyeball. There's just so many things about it. So I feel like it's time to connect with Earth. It's time to connect your dreams and your Earth together, right? Your connection to Earth together, so that you can keep moving forward, right? Because it's like I feel like this almost is like a ... It's like, I feel like it's saying, believe in the impossible. Prosperity lies ahead ... Like it lies ahead. It's coming. It's there. But you have to believe in it, man. You really have to believe in it. This was calling to me, so I have to bring this in too. It's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. We just had the full moon in Scorpio. So I don't know if that doesn't feel like a timetable, but I definitely am feeling like it's time to release, because I feel like they wanted me to put prosperity here. So like you can see the prosperity. It's time to release. That's what they're showing. If you release the negativity, here we go. Once you release the negativity, then the prosperity will easily come in. And look at how the butterfly's flying this way now, right? Like the butterfly, this is you. Like you're flying towards it. And this Gemini energy, this wind is... I mean, the other thing I really love about Gemini, especially in the Northern Hemisphere, is the beginning of summer. And I feel like it's just like that like big whoosh of wind. It's also the first air sign of the zodiac, right? Because Aries is fire, Taurus is earth, and now we're in the first air sign. So Spirit is showing us that. Plus, the full moon in Sagittarius is right around the corner in a few weeks. And I do feel like because we have 2 full moon cards, there's something to be said about that. The Scorpio and Taurus could also be you or people that you're dealing with as well. Let me see. Okay, there's no more. They don't want me to pull any more cards there. Let me see. Spirit, are there any more teachings that you'd like me to bring to them from the book? Okay. No. The negativity is a big one because the sad thing about the negativity part, hold on, is we don't even realize we're doing it half the time because we've been trained for so long to be negative that we don't even realize that we're fucking being negative. And I for one, I used to hate it when somebody would say to me, stop being so negative, stop being so negative. I'd be like, you know, but now I'm like, oh man, thank you. I didn't realize I was in a spiral, you know, like, because we can easily catch ourselves. It's just years and years and centuries of our ancestors. It's like fucking squeezed like through every fucking cell of our DNA, right? To like be submissive or to be dominant or to be, you know what I mean? Like just, you know, insert your story here and your family bloodline here, right? Like, so in one end, you know, as kids are like, yes, believe in fairies, believe in winged creatures and rainbows. Yes. You know, and then the other ways are like, yeah, but I mean, the Taurus energy, but get grounded. I mean, come on, like that's not real, right? That's not real, but it fucking is real. And I love that it's the Scorpio with the negativity because I'm a triple Sag, but my moon's in Scorpio. And I'm telling you, most of the time when I'm in a dark spiral, it's my fucking Scorpio. It's my stinger. It's coming. It's that and my shadow and blood and bone stuff too, you know. But I'm saying like, for the most part, I am like everything that a Sagittarius, like, because you can't just say, oh, that person, like, you know, is blah, blah, blah. And when I got my chart, I was like, that makes so much fucking sense because most of my chart, like, 70% of my chart is masculine. I don't know what the percentage, but it's really high. It's up there like that, like maybe 76%. But a lot of my chart is masculine. And then even though I have all the other signs, it's like where I don't, you know, have like Virgo or whatever, I have another Sagittarius. I have so much Sag. And for the most part, I'm you know, look at the world with the optimism, the half glass full mentality, but it's because of my Scorpio that I needed to help me be in the, you know, Gulliver's Travel, you know, where the guy's like, oh, we're never gonna get there, you know, that kind of like, oh, let's just give up now, why bother, look at the world's ending, let's just give up, let's just kill ourselves, let's just fucking go around killing people, let's rob people, let's do whatever we want. That's what's happening right now. It's like everybody's inner child is acting out and doing whatever the fuck they want. And they're like, oh, well, I guess we'll see what happens. We'll see what consequence happens. You know, more children die, more people are kidnapped. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's stopping too because more people are getting caught. More people are, you know what I mean? Like we've been watching it with these, I don't know whose choice it was to have P. Diddy's trial not on camera, but it was a good fucking, you know, we saw what happened. I don't even need to say the names, right? Like we saw what happened with the last fucking trial that got so out of control with famous people that it made people nuts that, you know, I mean, I may not like certain things about the way things went down, but I also can respect and appreciate that Amber Heard has a shadow just like the rest of us. I did feel bad, you know, not feel bad, but I understood, you know, why she was like, do you understand what's happening to me? Like, I'm getting fucking death threats. Like, no matter what she did, it's not worth somebody killing her child. You know what I mean? Like, did she do horrible things to him? Yes. But we also got to see him too, that he's not perfect. But that's what made us love him even more, right? Because we're just like, he's not perfect. He never really wanted to try and be perfect, right? So we're all just seeing that we're human and that we have flaws. But also, Earth is a magical energy entity. Gaia is magic. She's pure magic. Everything about this planet is magic. The fact that it can, you know, keep evolving and growing. Some things are perennial and some things are annual. You know what I mean? You only see it once unless you keep, you know, planting the seeds. It's like, you know, it's like those people. I just saw something recently about this woman who won a Grammy And she only won a Grammy because somebody asked her to sing on something. It was like something in history. I forget what it was. I think it was from the 60s or 70s. But she ended up singing on something that like went gold, platinum, like whatever. She won a Grammy. She never ever really did anything big ever again. That was it. That's why they call them one-hit wonders, or they're like, some people get a taste of fame. I actually met somebody really, really famous and hung out with him, Alder and I, and in his generation, in his time in the late 60s and through like the mid to late 70s. And of course he's still famous to some people now, but we ended up meeting this musician. I forget the band. Was it Bread? Like one of those bands like that was like really big back then. And his name was, I think his nickname was Snoopy, but whatever. But we just ended up having these really interesting conversations about that and like the world and like how things have changed and evolved and how some things haven't changed. They've gotten worse. And and it just goes to show that it's like, you have to believe that you can make your life awesome. They took the money that they made on like this one hit song, and they were smart with it. They bought a bunch of beautiful land up here on the peninsula. They built all these cool little magical homes, these little cabins, these off-grid cabins, and it's like in his world and his 20 acres, he might as well just like this, like, it's like all fantasy. It's all beautiful. All these elder trees, old growth, and like magical, like streams and running water, and, and he wanted to preserve 20 acres because he saw what was happening. Well, that's happening all over the world. We're all seeing that it's happening all over the world. Angels are here, and they are in all forms and in all places. We are them. We are the light workers. We are the light bringers. But we have to experience the shadow. We have to talk about the shadow. We have to go through all of these things together so that we can really make the difference and believe in the impossible. That the only way we're going to actually shift into the full on 5D energy, I mean, it's going to happen anyway, but isn't it going to be better if we do it, where our other brothers and sisters, so to speak, in arms aren't having to work so hard, right? We have to do the work. We can't rely on I just got the chills. We can't rely on the outer forces to mend our fences or fix our situations or our quote unquote problems. There are no problems, only solutions, right? Only solutions. Listen to that. Do we want to be caught up in that energy? I'm going to take a screenshot. That's pretty. You know what I mean? That's not ours. And bless them, whatever that's for. I think that's it. Are there any more, Spirit? Do we want to pull any more cards? There might be one more. I feel like there might be one more. Let me see. Nope. Do we have any more messages, Spirit? Any more downloads or channeled messages for anybody? Nope, that's it, you guys. So, you know what to do. Everything is possible. Did you ever hear Audrey Hepburn talk about the word impossible? She's like, there's no such thing as impossible. She's like, the very word itself says, I am possible. Right? I am, the letters, right? Possible. So believe. And believe that prosperity is yours. And say prosperity mantras and manifestation mantras every morning and every night. Especially during the day when you are feeling a little low or feeling like you've just had too much of this reality that we were, that we're still working through. I mean, think of it this way. Earth is actually in the 5th dimensional energy. We've been pulled down to the 3rd dimensional energy. Stop looking at it as if you've got to move upwards somewhere. You're already there. It's an energy. It's a consciousness. Right? So if you're living in the 5th dimensional energy, you are in the 5D. But the 3rd dimensional energy, for those people who still believe in the 3rd dimensional energy, they're still living in it. You can't control them. They have to come to it on their own. The only thing you can control is yourself and the people around you and those who you're meant to teach. Be the prophet that you were brought here to be. Use your social media platforms and your conversations in grocery stores or at the hair salon. Use those conversations not to judge, not to preach, but to just speak your truth. That's it. There's a huge difference, you know. Jesus went around trying to help people. You know, he did the Sermon on the Mount, right? They talk about that. Now, if that's a true story, he did it far away from the town. He you know, he wasn't like going to certain places. He wasn't trying to shove things down people's throats. He was just trying to say, listen, love is all there is, man. Like, let's just make this simple. He's like, they're the ones making it complicated. The religious and the political leaders are the ones that make it complicated. They want it complicated so that you think it's complicated, but it's not complicated. It's pretty simple and straightforward. You know what to do. I love you so much. All of my information's in the description box. I'll see you next time. Blessed new moon in Gemini. Can't wait to see what this moon cycle brings us. I love you. Have a blessed day. Blessed be. Oh, bye.